Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Chelsea, aka African American Primetime Television. This is my have and have not, my haves and have not review for season 4, episode 6. Benny does battle, and Benny has been doing a lot of battling lately. On last night's episode, him and Quincy got into it again after their accident. Last week, Benny had toppled over this white truck that he has inherited from this auto auction or this salvage yard auction that his sister had got for him. And him and Quincy were going at it, and my fellow commentator, she brought something up. Her name is Ashley Miller, and she said that the fight was reminiscent of the fight between Diamond and Ronnie on the Players Club. And Vinny was Diamond and Quincy was Ronnie. And the way the fight seemed, I could see what she's talking about. It did seem like it was the Players Club all over again. But Benny whooped his tail real good, and Quincy deserved it. And the reason why Quincy deserved it is for what he did to Hannah. And I also think that he is abusing little Quincy too. And Benny basically threw him into the truck, and it was like a fight. I mean, a fight. It was good. Have to give credit's due. Tyler Lepley, he did his thing, and Tyler Perry did a great job at producing this wonderful episode and this wonderful, glorious fight that they had. And I'm just glad that Quincy finally got dealt with. And moving on from that, Candace and Oscar. Wow, Oscar, I'm kind of iffy about him. I don't know if he's legit or not. I don't know what's his angle, but I can care less when it comes to Candace. I'm not a Candace fan. Never will be a Candace fan. But Oscar, I feel like if he does something to hurt Candace, then Benny will be after him. So for his sake, I just hope he don't hurt Candace because of Benny. Otherwise than that, he can do whatever he wants to do with the girl. I can care less. Um, Candace is due for some karma because how she treated Catherine and Amanda Pryor. Catherine, is married to Jim Pryor, and Candace had a long affair with Jim, and basically took the affair to the Pryor residence and broke in a sofa inside of Catherine Pryor's home in the study. And my thing is, you just don't do that to somebody. If you know they married, you back away. And Candace obviously did not back away. So she is due for some well karma. And also hated how she treated Amanda. I mean, Amanda had mental issues, of course, but Candace didn't have to take advantage of that. And she wanted Amanda to go after her own parents for, you know, her inheritance so Candace can steal it. So, no. Candace deserves exactly what she got coming to her, and I can't wait till her karma day comes. Okay, Oscar, I think Oscar's kind of cute. He kind of savvy and, got swagger or whatever. But, for the sake of him not getting beat up by Benny, I hope he does right by Candace. Otherwise than that, I don't care. But they are on this airplane and headed for New York, and you know, there's the flight attendant there, and the flight attendant serves them champagne, and they got to talking about trust, and it was a nice scene, but I would have been happier if it was with somebody else other than Candace Young, but it was a nice scene, and so they're on their way to New York. Then we cut into David and Jeffrey. David and Jeffrey had a heart-to-heart father and son talk. Now, I'm not a David fan by far, because I think he's a jerk for how he treats his wife. He has no regard to her feelings whatsoever, and he cheated on his wife with this piece of trash, Maggie Hodey, and I can't stand her either. He's wilding now, and him and Jeffrey sitting up there talking about Veronica like she's a dog or whatever. She's a mom that wants the best for her kids and her son, and she know how it's like for homosexual people out here and how difficult it used to be for them, and the ridicule that they would get, and she doesn't want that for her only child. And she wants to be a grandma, and she knows that she can't be a grandma with her only child being a homosexual. So I see her viewpoint of that too. So, and David has no regard for Veronica's feelings when it comes to that. He's still cheesing all up in Maggie's face, knowing how his wife feels. If you really love and respect your wife, yeah, you were caught with your pants down. You will get rid of that woman by any means necessary, and David is refusing to do so. He should have fired Maggie, told Maggie to lose his number, not to come around him, but no, he's not doing that. He has no regard for Veronica or her feelings when it comes to that and when it comes to her son. So I have no respect or regard for him, because no woman should have to walk in and catch their husband with their pants down, literally. So that's how I feel about that. And Maggie is a piece of trash. So David and Jeffrey are sitting there talking, and David gives him new credit cards because Veronica cut his credit cards off. Well, if I had a son that came into my home and talked to me the way Jeffrey talked to his mom, he would get cut off too. I don't care. I don't care what the situation is. You do not do that to your mom. After all she did to sacrifice for you throughout the years, and you gonna come in there and call her stupid, call her a simple bee and whatever. No, you deserve to get cut off. I don't care. Anyway, so they're talking about Veronica, and then Jeffrey tells David that Melissa's pregnant, and David is like, how'd that happen? Well, Melissa got Jeffrey drunk, and I guess they had sex, and voila, she's pregnant. And David had, kind of stood up for his wife finally, but I feel like that he should have, really gone at Jeffrey like, how could you talk to your mom the way you did? How can you do this? How can you do that? But he doesn't do that. He just sit there and keep things going. David is not a good leader for his family. He's not a good leader for Savannah. He's not a good leader for Georgia. So that's how I see it. When you're married, you're as one, and you're supposed to put on a united front at all times. But the thing is, David is not doing that when it comes to his wife. So I have a lot of disrespect for him. And anyway, David had asked Jeffrey, "Have you ever been in love?" And Wyatt, Jeffrey was having a hard time saying Wyatt. And then David asked, Jeffrey if Wyatt was gay, and then Jeffrey said no. But then, they was like, well, until you truly been in love, then you don't understand where I'm coming from. So, zip it. So that was the end of the David and Jeffrey scene. In comes this piece of trash, Maggie Hodey. I can't stand her, like I said before. She comes in with this envelope or folder or whatever, talking about, we got this fixed where, the fire was caused by a kerosene lamp. Now, come on now, who has kerosene lamps at this day and age? And I wouldn't buy that. It should have been like something electrical that happened, or even a candle. Some people still have candles, but I can't see people having kerosene lamps. So that was kind of wow, out there, big time out there. But she got it fixed. I think she's trying to do all this stuff to trying to please David, so he would just turn from Veronica completely to her. It's not gonna happen. I can, even after the reveal of the Vinny and Veronica affair, I still can't see David walking to Maggie. It's not gonna happen. She needs to give up. Go find, like I said in my last video, go find a man that wants her. It ain't in Savannah, and keep it moving. Stop trying to mess up stuff that you knew you shouldn't be doing. So that, they got to talking and whatever, and then Jim came back, and then David was surprised to see Jim, because he thought that Jim would need more time off because of the death of Amanda. But Jim said being back at work is very therapeutic for him, so he needs this. And Jim had told Maggie to leave once he got there, and Maggie left, and Jim and David got to talking about Wyatt, and got to talking more about Queen Veronica, and got to talking more about Candace and what plans do they have for Candace. And like I said, one of them has hired Oscar to do their dirty work for them. But David, asked Jim if Wyatt was still off the rails, and Jim said yes, and he got Wyatt in this little scare straight program, and he's in jail for prison or whatever for a week, trying to keep him from not telling the DA what actually happened. So that's going to be a problem on its own, is Wyatt Pryor. But they got to talking, men talk. They got to talking about this and talking about that, and then after all that, that was the end of that. And now we are back at the Pryor mansion, and I feel so sorry for Catherine Pryor. She has lost her daughter, and she's going through Amanda Pryor's things and her daughter's things, and crying and trying her best to hold up. And Hannah's there, and Hannah's been a good friend, a good support system for her, and trying to help her find Amanda's diary. And I like that friendship that Catherine and Hannah had. It's different, Not too many employers are friends with their employees, but I like their friendship. And Hannah's trying to help Catherine find Amanda's diary, and she tells Catherine to leave the room while she go look for it or whatever. And Catherine was like, "I'll be out on the lanai." So Catherine goes out there on the lanai. Next, Hannah comes with Amanda's diary, and Catherine starts to read it to try to confirm everything that Candace has said to her and Jim about the situation with Amanda. And Catherine starts to read it, and she starts tearing up, and then she calls Jim at the headquarters, and Jim basically is upset about the Amanda situation as well, because that's his little girl, and he hangs up the phone and breaks the pencil in half. And then that's the end of that. Now we're going to go back to the New York scene. Candace and Oscar are finally arriving at the hotel. This hotel room is sharp. I mean, if I ever had it like that, that's the kind of hotel I would like to stay in. The room is just spacious and decorated luxuriously, and it's all that and then some. She's lucky to be able to go to this nice hotel with this nice guy. To me, Oscar's nice. He's cool. But they at this hotel room and start talking about trust and start talking about stocks and bonds and this merger that Oscar is, head of and spearheading, and they are all excited and everything, and still talking. And Oscar tells Candace that she's the one he wants and whatever, and he brought her to New York for the company or whatever, and that was the end of that. Now we're going to go to Queen Veronica in this car situation, this salvage yard or tow truck company, whatever, Vinny's. She arrived there looking dead at Jeffrey's car underneath this blanket or whatever, and then Maggie Hoday's PIs are snapping pictures at her, and I'm sick of that too. I hope either her or Vinny finds out that they're being watched. And basically, I want Vinny to do to this PI what he has done to Quincy. Yank him out the car, whoop his tail, demand to know who's hired him, and then call Veronica up so Veronica get on Maggie's behind for having her followed. Maggie has no right to be having that woman and Vinny followed. She's nothing to Veronica, and she needs to quit. She's a desperate trick, and I can't stand her. So this PI is snapping pictures, and then Veronica gets on the phone and calls Vinny for the first time of the day, and she leaves a message, and then she leaves there, go in her car, and she takes off. Okay, Vinny has arrived at Quincy's sister house looking for Q. Now, I am excited because Vinny is going to get that little boy away from those treacherous people. I'm telling you. And when I say treacherous, they are very treacherous. I feel like that Quincy's sister, I guess her name is Quita, uh, and Quincy have been abusing Q. And I'm glad that Vinny is getting that little boy out of there and away from all that mess, because there's no reason why he should have to, that little boy should be involved in that mess. And Benny gets there and he listens to the door to see if, that's Cleta's place. And then he kicks in the door and Cleta's all over him and getting all up in his face talking about, you better get out of here, blah, blah, blah. Benny has pushed her down into a chair, told her to stay out of his face and whatever. And basically, Cleta's jumped on top of Benny's back, and Benny knocks her down, and then Cleta goes and gets this frying pan or whatever, and Benny goes into this room, and in this room is little Quincy and a whole bunch of kids. I mean, these kids are like fearful. They scared of everything, and I think they're scared of Cleta. I don't know if all these kids are Cleta's kids or not, or whatever, but it seemed like it could be a welfare scam going on uh, with Cleta and Quincy when it comes to these kids. But I'm glad that Benny went in there and got little cute out of there. And it was so cute, their little, exchange. Little Quincy didn't know that was his Uncle Benny, for one. And Benny had to convince him to leave. And then as he was leaving, Cleta was like, you not taking him out of here and whatever. And Benny got all up in her face and said, yes, I am. So he bent over, picked up little Cleo, and walked out the house, or the apartment. And that was the end of that. Now we're going to go back. But, whoa, when he was there, Veronica did call him twice again. Two more times. And the first time she called, he hung up and he didn't answer. Now, I did not like that, because after everything that Veronica has done for Benny, get him out of jail, get him out of prison, get him off of drug charges, and has basically been there more for him, been more there for him than Candace has, and you do that? No, I did not like that. But I'm glad he answered the second time, and then they start talking about when they're gonna meet up again. And I like the Vinny and Veronica couple, because like I said, Veronica's been hurt, and David is mostly the reason for her pain. But Vinny has been, Vinny has helped ease that pain a little bit. But I hope that Veronica do not take advantage of Vinny, and I hope Vinny do not take advantage of Veronica. I want them to be together. She needs to leave David alone, let him be with that piece of trash, and she needs to be with Vinny. They're a hot couple, the hottest couple on the show right now, and I think that they will make an awesome couple if it's written right. But I hope they be solid and become one. I hope he supports her, and I hope she supports him. It's a 50-50 type situation. But they talked for a little bit and they hung up. Okay, now we're gonna go back to New York. Candace and Oscar are at this theater. One of those luxury type theaters to go see the opera or whatever. And they sitting there talking and enjoying themselves, and then they leave the theater and go on a horse and carriage ride, and they talking more about insecurities. Candace's insecurities about how she feels about Oscar, and Oscar how he feels about Candace. And they Candace, puts up this wall again. She always has a wall, but I hope Oscar can break down that wall and everything be fine with them. Okay, now the biggest moment of the night. Benny comes home with little Q. I am so happy. That boy melts my heart. He is so handsome. I only know two little boys who's more handsome than him. My nephew and my cousin's girlfriend little boy. But little Q melted my heart last night. He is so cute. And it was so nice to see Benny bring Quincy Jr. home to Hannah. And Hannah is so excited to see him. Well, next week, I'll give you a little bit of teasers. Little Quincy is rushed to the hospital because, I guess of some abuse that he suffered at the hands either of his Aunt Quita or his father, Quincy. But that's for next week. We can talk more about that next week. But this is the end of my review. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and feel free to comment on the video. Well, that's all that I have to say. You all have a blessed day, a blessed week. I will talk to you next week. I love y'all. God bless you. Take care. Goodbye. Mwah.